I don't know the individual that I'm speaking to. This is very spontaneous. And so, full disclaimer, she's telling her story and I'm listening. You say your story is big,
It's huge
it's huge.
because it has many compartments to it. It has the
Mm-hmm.
banks, the
Oh,
company's registry office
oh my
in
God.
Jamaica,
All right.
the
So listen,
Nash
what I am
National Land Agency.
what
Mhm.
I'm going to do is I am going to mute my mic and allow you to speak. So don't worry about me not speaking. Just tell your story. All right.
All right,
All right. Go
sounds
ahead.
good.
You have the floor. Go
But
ahead.
okay, so I left Jamaica when I was about 18 and a half years old to attend college. I came from a family that had real estate that was passed down from one generation to the next. And I primarily came to help my dad in 2014 because he was elderly and alone. And my experience includes members of the Jamaica Labour Party and the Freemason Society in Jamaica. From the minute I got to Jamaica, I was being watched because apparently they had designs on my father's estate. That's the Jamaica Labour Party and the Jamaica Freemasons. They pretty much were gang stalking me and trying to engineer aspects of my life because they assumed I'd be the one who would inherit my father's assets. And they had a problem with that because apparently, like a whole bunch of them had designs on taking my father's assets for themselves. So what they did though was to, along with family members who were very jealous of this whole situation between my father and I helped him in his company. His company delivered water to schools, prisons, um, hospitals in Jamaica. That would be potable water from the National Water Commission. And the National Water Commission was taking money off the top of my father's invoices. And I became involved in his business to the point where he appointed me also as a director of his company, much to their dismay. And so they attempted to take over my father's company because we ended up suing the National Water Commission for those invoices. They had stolen $31 million from us. And they threatened my dad, and he was saying that when we discussed company business at night, he was saying that we should drop the lawsuit against NWC. And I told him no, because what are we supposed to do? Give away $31 million of profit that the company made? On top of that, the tax administration wanted to charge us $2 million in taxes. And we told them we're not paying them until they pay up what they owe to our company. So that became stymied. My father had property in St. Anne's Bay. The St. Anne Parish Council, along with someone who bought a lot, tried to work with an attorney to bring litigation against my father because they said he was supposed to sell them plus or minus a quarter acre, and the lot line was not accurate. And they tried to put the wool over my dad's eyes, not knowing my dad had the original maps for the land in St. Anne's Bay.
1 second.
And even my father's attorney tried to collude with them for this litigation to proceed. However, I intervened because, as you know, my father and I, we worked in tandem, we worked together. and I let them know that if they disturb the lot line, we'll bulldoze whatever fencing they would put up, and that squashed all of the talk about this false litigation they intended to bring against my father and I, so they could tie up our money, like 350 US dollars per hour, to pay these attorneys, and squashed all of that because we have more important things to do. Anyhow, they eventually, well, I guess my brother, he was part of this Freemasonry and the JLP. And I don't know if he realized the things he was telling me when he tried to come in and take over, such as the fact that he spoke to Andrew Holness,
Oh my God.
who agreed with the actions that he was taking.
What? What you saying?
Yes,
Hold on, hold
yes.
on, hold on. Just back
And
up, back up,
and
back up
wait,
a bit, back up a bit.
okay.
Somebody in the chat asked, "What is Freemason?" Explain that to me.
Lodgeman.
The lodge, that
Is that a better
like what
the free
Everald Warmington talk about.
the Freemason Lodge, correct.
Okay, all right.
Located on, I believe, is it Barbados Avenue in New Kingston?
I don't know where
That's
none
the
of those things are
Kingston
located.
office.
Okay.
Yes,
Continue,
yes.
ma'am. I'm sorry to
Lodge,
have, but
the lodge
yes,
people.
yes.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so I don't remember where I left off now
Oh,
because this story is pretty bad.
your brother came
Yes.
in,
So
and what he was saying to you.
they also knew that the mayor for
Oh, and
Kingston,
you were saying something about Andronis knowing something about
yes,
what your
and was
brother.
agreeing with my brother, telling him he's doing a good job first in separating my father and I so he could take over.
What?
And yes, my brother and Juliet Holness
Oh my
and
God.
Lee Chin. So when we
What?
were doing the litigation against NWC, suddenly we heard through the grapevine that Lee Chin had some private interest in NWC. So the lawyers, the law firm I had used to file litigation, they insisted that we needed to produce our banking information. But more than that, they wanted for us to divert our banking to them, to their accounts, whatever invoices, etc., and payment. I told them no. What kind of foolishness is that? Then they said we needed an accountant to corroborate the missing $31 million. So um, the accountant they put us on to, apparently he told Holness and Juliet about the lucrativeness of my father's business. And he did an audit on all of the banking information I gave to him instead of just the banking with NWC. So they wanted my father's company now. They wanted to take over the type of business my father ran and how it operates. That was their greatest interest. Anyhow, eventually we did win the lawsuit. They settled and they paid back the money, but they paid it back in increments. The only thing is that money came into my JLP Freemason brothers' hands, not my father's nor my hand. Because my brother, his name is the first and last name of my dad, but not the same middle name. And he was going around saying he was my dad. This is how all this thievery took place of my father and I in Jamaica, is because the JLP people in position at the tax office, even the insurance company, they were involved. It's like they were, for example, I would pay them 12 months of insurance on one of my father's trucking vehicles, and they would only insure us for 6 months. And then suddenly the police would be stopping us after that 6 months ends and charge us for being uninsured. That type of scam was going on with the insurance company. So another thing was FCIB when my father was adding me to his bank accounts, they insisted that I check off on the forms that I had to complete. Anyone can sign on my father's bank account, although the option was just him or me. And the teller there, or whatever, bank representative, extremely rude and out of order. I had to comply. So they already premeditated robbing my father's bank accounts. Now, when I first went to Jamaica, my father told me he does not trust these banking people and their staff.
So, for clarity, you don't
Okay.
live in Jamaica?
I had to leave Jamaica.
Mighty
I
God.
had to leave Jamaica in January of 2022
Mighty
because
God.
I was threatened. Also, the police were involved, the Constant Spring police station. I can name a lot of names, you know. Um, and some younger women were involved, um, who presented themselves as a romantic interest to my father. That's a form of prostitution that the lodge does. It's very a very big story. I don't think I could tell you everything today or in
Mighty
this
God.
hour.
Yes.
But I have the first-hand knowledge that everything you and the other bloggers are talking about in reference to the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Holness, Lee Chin, all of that is true. And how these banks run in Jamaica, where they bully people and they think everybody is the same, digging a yam, and you're supposed to do what they say. And if you have an issue with anything they're doing that is um, robbing your bank account and you bring it to their attention, well, you need to deal with it yourself because they absolutely have no clue. Another thing was when I would make deposits from collecting on invoices, they would be asking me if I took any money or if I deposited money for a particular purpose. They would be asking me, what is it for? And where did it come from? Knowing my father banked with them for over 20, 30 years.
My God.
Yes. So one of the ways they robbed us, though, it was I didn't know that I needed to present paperwork to them that my father elevated me from the position of company secretary to a director, which would be on the same level as he is. And I didn't show them that paperwork. So towards the end where they were separating, it's a whole group of people that expected to get a payout. Another thing I wanted
Mm,
to let you know, Mr. Bolo, is these things don't just happen to poorer Jamaicans.
mm,
They happen to Jamaicans who have some amount of wealth that they want to acquire for one reason or another. Now, my father was a very dark-skinned Indian man.
mm.
He passed away in 2023. The circumstances under which he passed away are very, very strange. For
Wow.
example, he died. No one took him to the hospital. They claim he died. Who knows? He could have been in a diabetic coma. This is in his own house that he built with his two hands. My father was very hardworking. Anyhow, um, 3 hours later, the same police, Constant Spring police, came to pronounce his death. You understand? There's some
Yeah,
uh,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
shadiness in that. There's some shadiness in that, Mr.
Mm.
Bolo. My father, who is a man of some wealth, um, no one could take him to the hospital. The hospital staff couldn't declare him or pronounce his death.
Wow.
And it wasn't the first time. They're into a lot of poisoning. These JLP people, they're into a lot of poisoning of people. I heard about a lady, I believe, who died as well. Is it Silvera?
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not even
Yeah.
familiar with that story. I just heard about it.
And this woman, Dalrymple, that's part of her way of gaining wealth too, is to try to disenfranchise the children of people whose properties or estates she wants to take over. And that's how I first heard of her. An article was ran about her in the Jamaica Gleaner. I think in maybe 2018 or 2019. And it stood out about the Clark estate and her dirty dealings with trying to dispossess uh, the Clark estate holders' children of the inheritance that
Wow.
they were supposed to receive. Yes. So I also was around, for example, Bruce Golding's daughter. Because I went to this little place where I used to wait until the traffic would run off before I would drive home. So I met up, like I met all these people. Pretty much, I did not gravitate towards them. I don't know if they came around me because I was sitting in a place that they're accustomed to sitting in. I'm not sure. But
Mm.
there I also met Michael Lee Chin's nephews, Wayne, of course, Wayne Chen's sons, and they ran. Oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of that bank. Oh my goodness! But my dad had accounts at NCB,
Mm-hmm.
uh, FCIB, and he didn't really want to be at FCIB, but because he had Parkinson's, he wasn't able to walk up into the bank to cash his checks or anything.
Mm.
It was easier for him to drive up to the teller, and it was one of the few banks that had a drive up teller. The one
Mm.
in Halfway Tree, that
Oh,
branch,
okay.
and very rude to me. My dad um, didn't trust them at all, and he would ask me because we needed a daily amount of cash when we're doing business
Right.
for gas and also other things because my father owned a 50-year-old trucking company,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he financed our educations abroad and sustained his family.
Right.
um, and of course, take care of his workers and their families. So um, he had bank accounts at JMMB. Suddenly I heard that the bank account he had for almost 15 years, when I went to inquire about it, because he had that designated for his funeral. He
Mm.
wanted his body flown to Miami to be buried beside his mom.
Okay.
They cremated my father. That bank account, I was told by JMMB that it was transferred to someone else. The contents of it.
Somebody,
And so
sorry, excuse me. Somebody in the chat is asking me if this story is for real. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot verify anything that she's saying. She's telling her story. All right. So I'm just,
it is for real.
we're just listening. So go ahead, ma'am.
It is for real. Whoever is asking, I can't make up these things. This is not something people just make up. Um, they did a lot of this JLP government, and I
Wow.
will tell you, my father was a staunch JLP, and the things that they did to my father is unconscionable
Wow.
for someone who supported them. My father died when he was 80 years old. And for someone who supported them from God knows when, for them to turn around and do this to him, disgusting. There's nothing in me that is JLP supportive after I saw what they did to my father. They were thick also with the mayor of Kingston, Williams, Delroy Williams.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Woo. God of mercy.
Yes.
I listening to you, man. I listening. This is a lot. Wow.
And there's a lot of involvement with drug trafficking
Oh my God. No, no,
and
mercy.
gun trafficking. And then they want to say, my father, who runs a little water company that's been lucrative and for decades, want to say he was part of that and he was a Freemason or a lodgeman. No way. If even if when I was 13 years old, Mr. Bolo, we got dressed in the morning to go to Queens High School, which is where we attended, me and my sisters. And my father got a
Oh,
phone call,
sisters. You have a lot of sisters.
two sisters
Hmm.
and one brother. So um my father got a phone call. That was when it was a rotary dial phone with a long twirly cord. No cell phones existed then. It was coming along in the time of having beepers. So the person on the other line told him they were going to kill him if he did not join the syndicate.
What?
Yes, it threatened my father. So I think even if my father became one of them, it wasn't by choice. I don't think he did because I never saw any of him wearing their ring or him associating with them. I think it was more like he was running away from them because I got to realize that you can't really have if once you have a a, a lucrative business in Jamaica, they are targeting you because they want some of that money, you know, and they do extortion, money laundering, all kinds of things. So, um, my father was very afraid to pass away alone because all of us were in the United States. But I went through a difficult divorce. So he asked me if I could stay with him and help him with his business. And that is what I did. But instead, just like they did to that doctor, the two doctors, Dr. Dawes and the other doctor recently,
Ah.
where they destroy the reputation and character, telling people, slandering me that I came to Jamaica to kill my father and take his wealth.
What?
Yes,
Yo,
when
this is
they're the ones
wild.
with pretty much everything Andrew Holness says and does, which is he does things and then says it's somebody else who did it to him. That's pretty much what they did to me. So what we're seeing going on in Jamaica, I went through on an individual level. Now it's happening on a larger scale
Listen,
to gaslight the Jamaican people.
have you ever reached out to Will Rattigan or Mr.
Yes, I have. I have received no response.
Oh, you
I've written an affidavit and they blocked me in the court as well.
wait,
I
wait,
even
wait,
tried to
what?
submit I even tried to submit to the other court, the Caribbean court, and they blocked me there as well.
What was in the affidavit?
It was telling you pretty much with a bit more detail
Uh-huh.
my experience and what my father went through, what my father and I went through.
Oh my God.
I sent the affidavit to Mr. Rattigan. He has not responded. I sent the affidavit to the United Grand Lodge of England. So one of the things they do, just like they did to Dr. Dawes and the other doctor recently, is try to say we're insane. Because the contortedness of what they've done to us and trying to convince the public something is wrong with us and we're making this up because their reputations are stellar, trying to attack us on a mental health level, which we have, those are two doctors. They're going to know how to circumvent that. So will I, because I am part of the mental health care community. So I understand all of this type of trauma. And the trauma is meant to break you down, but we know how to circumvent that because of our training. And I'm not calling myself a doctor like the other two men, Dr. Dawes and the other doctor, but I'm just saying we know how to circumvent these things from them having a serious impact on our mental health. But this is how they behave. There is an agenda that they've practiced for decades in the lodge. It's all about organized crime. Because about a few months after I was going through all of this, I recognized that it was organized crime because it was done in such a way that it almost was seamless. But I saw, a few of the cracks in there, what they did. One of the big cracks was my brother telling me these things without realizing what he was saying, or he was saying it believing that I would be dead soon, or, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to talk about this, or that I would have fallen into mental illness.
So two questions. Is your brother still alive? And he's still involved with the JLB?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
But he destroyed my father's company, sold everything that my father built and worked for, except for my father's land in St. Anne's Bay, which is, I got to understand, is in the process of being sold.
Somebody just asked me if you tried to reach out to Partner Jaw TV, Andre Stevens.
No, I haven't.
Do you have his contact number?
If it's the one that's on on his program, I could use it there. But would you text it to me?
I'll try.
On WhatsApp?
I definitely will.
I appreciate
this is a lot. This is way over my pay grade.
I have the first-hand experience, Mr. Bolo. I have the first-hand experience that everything they're doing, the way they behave, these JLP people, is not fantasy, it's fact. The gaslighting of the Jamaican people, the robbery and the theft. Now, a lot of what took place against my father and I it took place in 2021. Isn't that odd? It's around the time Andrew, with his 21 bank accounts and SSL became, a big loss. And what's his name? Lee Chin was liquidating his assets and fleeing. Isn't that odd? Anyhow, I'm hoping that I answered your question.
Yeah. About to send you the number right now. Okay. Yeah,
All right.
This is.
I don't know how Mr. Stevens would be able to help me, but I did try my best. I even tried to employ around 12 attorneys in Jamaica in 2021, and none of them took my case because they all belong to the lodge. They all belong to the lodge.
Ooh. Listen, I'm gonna send you the dude's number right now.
I appreciate that, Mr. Bolo.
Wildest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry. It's sent. It's sent.
Okay.
All right.
I thank you for helping me to express myself in this manner to your listeners, because I would like the Jamaican people to know that even if they're not I think we're all up against something like this with this government in different ways and on different levels. And this is why I wanted the Jamaican people to know that what they're going through is real. And no one should be able to talk them out of thinking that what they're going through is not real, which is what Andrew Holness likes to do. So,
all right.
I thank you for your time.
You're most welcome.
Your listeners' time. Okay.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
Okay, doke. Bye-bye.
All right. Have a good one. Woo! gotta put out another disclaimer. Turn that down a minute. Yeah, I gotta put out another disclaimer. Again, I don't even know who that is. That person reached out to me today, and the exact words were, Mr. Bo. She called me Mr. Bolo. She tried calling me 6:30 p.m. Is that today? Yeah, 6:30 p.m. today. Yes. And Mr. Bolo, I'm asking you to possibly interview me on your show. And I said, okay, about no, that was yesterday at 6:30. Because I sent her, I didn't even know it was her, but I sent her the live stream when I was doing the Gabby show yesterday. Then today I sent her another one, that's another link. And everybody that reached out to me in regards to YouTube, I use it as promotion to send them the links when I can, to let them know that I'm live. Listen to me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 6 unplayed voice notes on my phone right now. And I'm not even going to open them because she just said a lot. And I don't know. I'm not disrespecting the lady. I'm just letting it be known. I don't know about nothing. Alright? I'm not co-signing nothing. You heard me? All of this is allegedly. See the sign right there? This is all alleged. Alright? Let it be known. Let it be understood. This is way too deep. I saw Patricia in there saying, what she say? Patricia was wilding. Patricia said, lady, be careful. Go on your bed. Oh my God. Yo, Patricia, you gotta chill. People, let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section, man. Woo!